Okay guys, we're back for class number 28. So the next couple of classes we're going to be doing some mount escapes. And then we'll be getting into the couple classes after that, attacks from mount. So we're in the mount position for the next little while. And in terms of our standing techniques, we've been doing a little bit with defenses from the front, particularly like grabs with a single hand on the collar or two hands on the collar and pulling. We're going to kind of switch gears on that and go over that same idea, collar grabs, but pushing. Okay, and we've seen that a little bit. We've seen some pushing, but this will kind of build off of some stuff we've been working on. Okay, and then we're going to be getting into our last escapes that we teach in the whole program from mount. Right, the three big ones: UPA or bridge and roll, then our hip escape and knee elbow. Right, we're going to look at our hip escape today, but from a little different vantage. Right, and our last new mount escape, it's going to really build into this warm up where we're going to do shoulder rolls, rear shoulder rolls. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with that, Micah. All right, so let's start off with just seated, so you don't get a lot of momentum. Yeah, just right here, and you're gonna just go ahead and use a slap to help you roll. And then when you roll, get a real quick picture on me. Try and land like this. You know what I always tell the kids is listen to the mat, right? So if you kind of put your like here, right? So you can like lift that head up first, you know, and go over that side if you do it correctly. Okay. So let's see just a slap and then landing sort of a knee on belly base. Go. Nice, good, and then just collapse. Very good. Nice, good. Going back. And spin it around. Very good. Okay, now do it kneeling, right? Or in a squatted position here. Okay, same thing. Use the slap to help you go backwards. Nice. See, the further up you go, the less you need the slap. Okay, good. Come back and yeah, sit still in that kneeling position. Very good. Nice. Okay, good. Now standing, rear roll, and see if you can do it without the slap. Nice. Good. Spin around, coming back, same thing. Okay. Now, last thing we'll do is kind of a stationary movement. And look, this is a motion that I've taught this as just as a body movement with our training for years, and it's one that people struggle with. And here's why I show it, because we've also, I mean, nobody's ever had any crazy injury, but just within the sport, you know, I want to teach people how to not put strain on their neck. So when we go to teaching some of the techniques, like one of them will be today, you can put that strain on the neck if you're not careful, right? So the ability to rear roll in some of our techniques, kind of introducing it with this movement, that's kind of our whole strategy. So with this, kind of sit down beside me here, and we'll go, I always call these toe touches, right? So I want to do that over the shoulder idea, and I'm just going to touch my toe to the mat on that side, and I'm going to go side to side. Nice, get a couple more. Okay, good. So just some basic body movements to get going for the training, okay? We'll look at, again, we'll bring that full circle when we go over our mount escape, all right? So let's get into our sort of standing base and our self-defense techniques, okay? So our two grabs today are gonna be from here. I'm pushing him with a single hand, or I'm grabbing here with the single hand, all right? That's the whole sort of lesson today. So when we're approached with that situation, arm locks is going to be what we're going to be attacking with, okay? So let's start with just an overview. Look, the two main arm locks we're going to see are here, over, right? And then under, here, right? Now from there, look how I've got sort of a squat position, my hips are back and raising up. Here, I'm also raising his arm up, taking his pinky to the ceiling. It's just a little different leverage, okay? So we're gonna start with just the basic of getting into each of those, right? And as we go through them, we're gonna add some stress. Being pushed backwards, or once I get you in that over the shoulder position, seeing if you can hop out, okay? So go ahead and just start with the hand in the center. Okay, so first I need to be able to find base here, right? So that way if he's doing a big push like that, hey, good defense, right? He's like, don't push me. Do that. Do it again, right? See, so we talked about a little bit last class how we can deflect with the shoulder, right? So we just kind of boom with our arm or shoulder, or I can drop back, either one. So with this, I'm just like we do our mountain climber drill, my weight's just coming forward into my toes, okay? So go ahead and push. When that happens, I'm gonna grab here, right? Now, we talk about how getting slapped in the ear would be a terrible thing to happen, right? You perforate your eardrum. So I want my weight forward, and I'm grabbing, and I need to be able to block with this arm coming up, okay? Here. So he's not gonna slap me on this side because I've got his arm. Right, now this is one of those things like I show against some of the chokes, like when he puts his hand there, I'm gonna grab his hand and put it there harder. It's like a psyop, like, oh, you wanna push me? Let me just go ahead and pull you into my body a little more. That's how I'm getting my connection up. So here, right, what I wanna do is I'm gonna base, and I'm gonna drop and step in front of him, here, okay? Now, look at his little pinky finger, all right? So what I wanna do is I'm lowering my base down as I take that pinky up, okay? In judo, the Japanese term for this is Waki-Gatame. And it's the under the arm armlock, okay? So again, you just kind of push me here, I find base and I catch, right? So I got my forward weight distribution, so I'm able to pick my heels up. I'm gonna step back into base and across here, okay? Now, I'm taking this pinky again up to the ceiling, and I want, as I go over, I'm kind of raking everything in and bringing it tight with my elbows, and then that's my submission. So get that connection, like that raking it in over the arm. It's kind of like, because I have this, it almost like, you know, the Native American arm burn, right? Here, so. It's like there, I don't really have connection, right? And I could get it here, and that will help. But like as I roll over, see that's the difference, right? They expose this a little bit more. Okay. Now, your turn. Let's practice you getting into this situation, and then we'll add the stress of being pushed backwards. Actually, I think that's an easier version because the footwork flows very naturally. You're going back, oh, I'm already back in base. And then here, exactly. So, I'm pushing you here. Find your base. Yes, a little forward. So, yes, yeah, find it a little. Oh, close, right? You don't want to, I'm just giving you a lot of weight. Yeah, bend those knees. There, that's good. Okay, don't go back to normal. That's good. Right? Yeah, good. Okay. Now, but see, we're going to kind of do that opposite. See how this elbow protects? This elbow goes over. So each elbow has a duty in this technique. Okay. So there, drop back into a 4-point base a little bit. So step that leg back. Boom. Right here, pull it into your chest. So I can't move that palm now. Just feel how it's sucking the palm away. Right now there, so you're defending, and then what I want you to do is step across as you pull me down this line. So if you are here, I want you to think about coming over at this elbow and good, nice, okay? See, don't lean your chest forward like that. Everything is up, yes. Good, see I was doing that in my bicep and here, right? So it's like all the way. Now, just with the basics of the fit-in, look. So when I'm here, see that's almost coming off my chest? I'm twisting the arm a little bit and it is coming off my chest. And then you stepped back and made it work. Step in front, okay? Move forward a little bit. Find your base. Yes, pull it in. Good, step back. Good, step in front. Roll it up with that connection. Yeah, oh good, that's good. And finish. See, you're at full everything. And then you got there and then it was the same. Right, so, and then think too, it's hard to split all these differences in the beginning, even though you've been trained for a while. But so think, it could all be just like, oh, I got a base and I'm gonna pull you up. But think about leaving yourself a little bit of, I'm gonna go up and down at the same time. Against a larger person, like someone, like you're going against me, for example, it's really important to drop that weight down on their arm with your whole body as you pull up. Like when I have to show this, I've shown it on Joel a few times, right? And it's just like we're going straight to the go to the ground version where I drop all my weight on you. It puts you down almost immediately, if not immediately. And it's gradual because the size difference, right? So here, that's what I'm saying with that is that. So you felt, but what I'm saying for you is just kind of drop your weight down as you're, boom, as you're coming up like that. And not like rapid fire like that, but just boom, boom, or just slowly, right? But you'll see it's like, oh, I'm already in there and I'm pulling up. Boom. I drop down as I pull up. One more time. Drop back, step in front. Now pull up and drop down both. Ah, see, that was totally different than the last one. Like, the last one sucked too for me, like it hurt. It was, everything was there, but it was like, you had to rely just on your hands. And we want to split those differences, share the responsibilities so we don't fatigue. We stay with our overarching goal of efficiency, right? So that's just the basic arm lock, right? With some of the adages. So let's look at this. You're pushing me backwards, right? And this could be here, right? It could be just like you don't want to let somebody rapidly push your chest. If they start to, if they push once and you got the base the second time, start going here. But this, let's start with just start pushing me backwards. Okay, good. So did you feel how I just had I still had that weight in your chest even though we're walking backwards? There you go. So there's a little bit more. Okay. So there's this, I want to kind of find this balance of, I'm going to that like really resistant point like we did the second time, but I'm going from the moving backwards like I was the first time. A little bit of weight, push me backwards. Right? And that momentum, it just loads you. I believe I mentioned this when we were doing that haymaker throw where you, right, where you scoop throw them. So this is really similar to that because there's momentum behind it, right? You're going down that line and I move and you're still coming and then there it is, okay? So let's do this. First, just get the feel of walking backwards with this. Good, nice. See, that's it. You see, so I want you to go from that kind of accepting, but you're not going to push me backwards and make me trip, to, okay, yeah, I'm connecting and fitting this arm lock in. All right, so here, go ahead. Oh, nice. Good. Goes in. Start with our hands here. Good. You want a knee? Right, so like right as I go here, I start dropping down into that defensive posture a little bit more. And just amplifying everything, right? So, try one more. Nice. Okay, that's number one. Number two is gonna be with a single choke. Okay, so it's the same style. Oh, you wanna grab my throat, right? I'm gonna take away your ability to squeeze by doing this, right? Taking my chin down, my shoulders up, and my hands are coming up, okay? So anytime that happens, here, right? And look where my arm is again in case I need a shield against a slap or a haymaker, okay? So that's how we find base. Same concept. We've seen some techniques just like that. The new thing on this, going to the arm lock, that we haven't seen in this class, is this grip, okay? Call it the butterfly grip. So look what I'm doing here. My palms, you turn them to face you and cross your hands, right? That's the butterfly grip. So go ahead and go here. So I want to drop down into my base and I'm getting that grip here. Boom. Now, I'm going to step under and pull his arm up over my shoulder and sit through with my hips, okay? Now, standing up would be the finish, okay? We can also complete a throw, all right? And we've seen that from here with our outside leg throw in a recent class. It's a very similar sort of action once I go under there. So that's the over the shoulder arm lock, and then here, right? Japanese for this a lot of times is kotegaishi. So it's a wrist throw, right? Here I cover it with the second hand. And you go down, right? So yeah, your body's like, hey, we go down now. So it's an effective technique, and coming off of this, like I could be thinking about like, okay, I already got your arm, and now I'm going to throw you by your former arm, right? This, like I can throw him just with this if I time it, but here I want to reinforce like off of his knuckle line here and cover. And like, look at his posture. Turn. This is the posture of somebody getting Americana, right? Because that's what this is Americana shoulder lock. But I'm doing it from the lever of the wrist down here, right? So, and standing as well. Okay, so go ahead with the grab base here. Boom, right? Now, my hips are back. It's almost just like I'm doing a hip throw, okay? Now, Micah, can you get out? See, just try.
If I try to my wrist, maybe it...
Can you, okay, well, so I'll give you some more details. Could you hop around this way?
Not really, you're too tall.
Okay. Close. So see what I've got to do is I've got to monitor that with my hips. Feel that?
Yeah.
Right? And that could be me standing up a little bit. That finishes it, right? But I don't want to let you hop around. Could you hop around this way?
Which one?
This side.
Not without arm-barring myself.
Okay. All right. So from here, there's also my switch to the throw. Okay. So I know these throw, right? Now, let me fix it. There's all that blood flow in there, man. All right. So it's here. All right. So you're dropping, and then you grab, and you're going under and there. So that practicing, we do this on several of the techniques of when I'm dropping at the base, my hands are going up, right? Because we're here, yeah, and dropping meat like everything. So everything's going down. Boom. Nice. Now, sink down a little more and step under. The other way. Yes. Pull it through. Yes. Now, see, so I got you if I want you the other way. Boom. All right. So boom. So what I want you to do is complete turning. And turn. Yes. Feet closer together. Yes. It's like a hip throw. Feet even closer together. Oh, now we're serious business. Okay. So turn. Right now. So I want you to think about your hips are backwards, and that about to stand is what prevents me from going around. Okay, so when I'm here, boom. Can you hop around? Sorry. Not sorry. You should edit that out later. But, you know, you get to do it to me. You go next. So here, boom, sink under, and step under. Other way. Yes, good. So your hips, yes. Okay, good. Yes. Okay, now. Yeah, that's it. So see what I wanted to go around. You started to sense that. Okay, let me see if I can't. Okay, now. I want you to grab my thumb. Yes. Now, take this over your head. Right? My shoulders, this is a broken collarbone several years ago. I was a blue belt. Right? It's the day after I got my blue belt, as a matter of fact, same camp. So this torn labrum, but like there when I was just in the arm lock, it's twisting my elbow up and stuff. I'm just like, oh dude, yeah, you got it. So when you switch to the other lock, I'm done. I had no balance to begin with. So that's the basic sort of concept, and that's the stress test is can I hop out, right? So that is our over the shoulder arm lock and our under the arm lock, okay? And basic fundamental techniques, standing armlocks. So let's next, we'll be getting into some of our techniques on the ground, right? Sort of taking a look at escaping the mount. We'll see some things that we haven't seen so far in the course. Okay, we got a couple of mount escapes we're gonna go over. First one is gonna be hip escape. We've already seen that previously in the program, but this is gonna have a whole new take on it, right? We're gonna be hip escaping to the outside heel hook, right? So if you look at the whole program, you get the basic ankle lock, the heel hook, the knee bar, right? The toe, we get all of that throughout the whole program, okay? So it's the first time we've seen the heel hook, but we're putting it and pairing it with something we already know, right? So we'll get that sort of, some familiarity, like, okay, yeah, hip escape, I've worked with this, and then adding to, right? So it's what we want to do. Over time, you want to, oh man, I understand this technique. Okay, great. Well, what comes along with it, right? It's a package deal usually. You got all these nuances, like, well, it still works if they do this, this, and that. Or after I do it, I do this, this, and that. So, and then to the last new mount escape that we're really going to go over, right? We've seen variations of hip escape forward, backwards. This one, and we've seen the UPA, seen the knee elbow, okay? Next class, we're getting into some tech mount escapes. So those will be kind of newer, but the same motions we've done. We have not done a mount escape where we roll out, right? Bridge and roll, you kind of go over your shoulder. This is different. This is gonna be like we did in our warm-up along with this class, rear rolling, right? We're rear rolling. I see a lot of people that do not emphasize that. They kind of go to the side with it, and it can still work, but it usually taxes your neck and shoulders more. Okay, and this is a high mount escape. It's not a regular. So like we're starting to see there's low, middle, and high mount. Technical mount's a high mount, so we'll get into that next class. But this is just kind of high mount with the knees under my arms. If we can't shoulder walk out of that, that's why we had this backdoor high mount escape. That's what it's historically called by almost everyone. Okay, so let's get into those things. Let's start off with the hip escape to outside heel hook. Okay, so we'll show some different angles on this, but what I want you to remember is that I want to turn slightly to my side as I frame. Now the turning my side part is not the hip escape, okay? I get your weight off of me here. This hand protects, or I double, okay? And then look, I've got my legs organized. My base leg, and then this foot here, balls of my foot and toes are dug into the mat, my heels inverted, okay? See, he has his hand on the mat, he has a lot of weight on that hand. So what I'm gonna do is now I'm gonna hip escape. So it's pushing him back and then moving back. Now I'm gonna come here. Now what I want is I want him on a hip to finish, okay? If he's up on a knee, this is beginner class, right? So I'm not going into if they rotate out, okay? If we were in the all ranks class, I would be talking about that. That's the main thing we talk about in there, okay? So like once I take him down to the hip here, right? That's what I'm looking for. I'm gonna pinch my knees together, and in terms of placement, I want his toes and my elbow, okay? And that immediately puts him on alert,
okay? And it's because he's on his hip that he's feeling this already, right? So emphasize that. If they're on a knee, they're not gonna feel it in the same way, right? Still gonna feel it, but they're gonna be able to roll out. So look, I can go here, I can grab, you can do butterfly grip, whatever you wanna do, right? But I'm cranking it by like pulling the toes down and then grabbing and pulling down, right? And that's just finishing on my back. It's the total beginner way. We're not getting into turning on our side, belly down this way, or rotating, which is what we show in the other class, okay? So there's some great stuff out there on that. This is just heel hook 101, right? And it's a really good outside heel hook for beginners. So come back into mount, please, Micah. So, look, frame, and get your body placement here. Okay, I've got that base leg. Now, once I've got him off of me, I can start hip escaping. Okay, even if he pinches his knees, which we covered in a previous class, pinch your knees, right? I can still slide out of that by shoulder walking on one shoulder. Okay, pull this in and this. Okay, sit him down to a hip. Get these toes in your elbow, right? Like right in that crease of your elbow. Grab here, and as soon as I grab, he's ready to tap. Okay, pretty rough, huh? A lot of that, Micah, too, is just relax. It's getting the elbow placement right there. A lot of people go here, right? And you can still make people tap with this, but that's that heel hook. Is the harder of the heel hooks to tap, there's more slack in the leg. So to take that slack out, look what we're doing here. You already feel it because it starts twisting. This doesn't twist as much. It does, right? You feel it, but it's a different lever. You see, it's making you spin. This, see, I don't even have my legs engaged. So I want you to think if we had like a jar on its side, empty because we don't want it to spill on the mat, and we're twisting it, right? So like my legs are keeping it wedged in place, you know, in that metaphor. And then my grip is turning the jar lid, right? Okay, your turn. Kind of turn about 45 degrees, good. Okay, so get your frame and get your body placement. Good. Boom, nice. All right. Now, so you got me off of you. Hip escape backwards. Throw your legs in. Boom. Very good. Now, see, yeah, you got to kind of finesse it in there. Get that pinky toe in the crease of your elbow. Now, I'm already feeling that, dude. Okay, so what I want you to do is see your knees, you pinch them. Okay, and just slightly put this in. Do this, make me sit down. So like push me, yes. Okay, now, if I'm up, you have to have this under the foot. If I'm not up, kind of see if you can kind of stand on that heel, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like just put it on the mat, yes. And then knees are pinched. This one is what I was saying, right? That's just kind of palm up my foot down when I was doing it to you. Okay, then you got that, get your grip and pull. Yes. Okay, let's go again. Okay, defend. Back hip escape. Good. Get that pinky toe in the crease of the up. That's already serious, right? I know, like I'm sensitive to that. So I'm like, high alert, right? And pull this way. Remember the twisting the jar lid. Yes, it's right. A little more knee pinch with it so I don't slide out. Yes, good. Now, and I'm kind of like, I keep putting myself up to talk to you so you can, but again, it's kind of like going to be, we want them broke down to the hip if we're going to finish that outside heel hook like that. Okay, so do it one more time and actually turn your head this way. I think this will be the best you can go with your leg over on this side. So on this one, break me down to the hip. Boom. All right. Here. Okay.
So where does this bottom foot go?
So it's right, if I'm up, it's right here. Right? Or under this hamstring, or under my butt there, right? The top of the hamstring. So here, see I'm on my knee? Make me be on my hip. There. Now we're serious business. Now load that heel hook and go. We're done. I have to be down on the hip. That's the lesson. Here's what happens if I'm not. Put me back in that outside heel hook, please. Like this. Okay, see I'm on my knee, right? Start trying to finish. We're done. And you can follow and do all these other things. Switch your leg placement. This is not what we're going over today, right? Break them down to the hip and finish that outside heel hook right there. Okay, and again, I just kind of kept leaning up to talk with you so you can see, but that's one of the main focuses for me is I want you on your hip inside, not up on a knee. If you're on your knee, you build base to a foot, stand up. It's not good for me. Okay, so next, backdoor mount escape. Okay, that is the one where you're going to be rolling out. All right, so put me in mount here. Good. So you're going to be high mount, right? And your hands are kind of on the mat. So people frequently will put their hands on the mat to help them slide up, right? And what we're looking to do is I want to make him go up a little bit further, and then I'm going to throw my legs under his arms, okay? So I'm using my L grips here, boom, and then going here. Now this is the part where people mess up and kind of go to the side sometimes. We want to extend one leg, and that helps us rear roll. Then, there's my belly down ankle lock. Okay. Let's see that again. Okay, so he starts going to high mount. I encourage that motion. Feet just in the armpits. They don't have to be crossed or anything crazy. Matter of fact, it makes it a little different if they are. So just extend one. I rear roll out on that side. And there's my ankle lock finish. Okay, let's catch one more angle on this. Here. Look. Wrap. Hit. Boom. Okay. So that is the backdoor mount escape. You try. Okay. Now, I'm going to start sliding up under your arms. Keep me going. There. Now, that gives you a little slack here. Now, whatever side you want, extend that leg more. And that's going to help you roll. Yes. Yes. And look at it. Boom. Go ahead and wrap it and finish it. Hips. Just engage your hips and posture. There you go. Thank you. You did something. I could really see you. Lay on your belly. It's like, just like a normal ankle lock wrap. But see, when I'm down, it doesn't hurt as much. What I want to do is be up. And then once I'm up, I'm engaging my hips. Okay? So, head here. I'm in high mount. Bridge me up further. Yes. Rear roll. Yes. Scoop. Yes. Oh, you broke my ankle, bro. I just felt kind of popped on you, huh? It was like the joint was loose. It didn't even pop. I was like, oh, that's some wiggle in there. That was good. Yeah, exactly. That's what I felt, right? You said, like, think about the ankle joint. It's not perfect. Like, it's not even really, like, it's not like it's welded together. You pull it hard enough, dislocations of the joint. What do you think that is? Right? So it's coming apart where it sits together. Right? It's our ligaments and things like that. And when we do joint locks, that's what we're attacking. Right? We're attacking that Achilles. And you know, these ligaments, I've been talking with this issue I have with a thumb injury, right? But it's really, the tendon runs from my thumb to my neck, right? You can extrapolate a lot of jiu-jitsu lessons out of that. If you control the thumb, you're controlling all the way to the lever on the end of their body, right? That's what we teach on the arm bar. Okay, so that was backdoor mount escape. And we saw some cool new leg locks today. Belly down ankle lock, we've seen that in a previous class when we touched on those ankle locks, but it goes beautifully with the backdoor escape. And then we've got the heel hook. okay? Next thing we're gonna cover is just a brief couple of armbar escapes, okay? So, and you know, again, I said we have a couple of classes. We're gonna be wrapping up our last attacks from mount after this. So what I want from everyone, before we move on, we're gonna see a little submission defense. We show a lot of arm bars in this program and a lot of arm bars from mount, okay? Now, sometimes you get arm barred from side control and it's the same formation, same type of an arm bar, same body placement at the ending. And sometimes you get fall over from guard when you're getting arm barred, and it's the same sort of idea, okay? So let's take a look at a couple of ideas on our arm bar, okay? So Micah, go ahead and put me in we'll turn this way and put me in technical mount. Okay, good, yes, and hook in, and this is good. Put the hand by the face, please. Yes, and slide, go ahead and slide your knee up a little bit more behind my head. Beautiful. See, now you're doing all these good things, right? So, and then if you wanted to shore this up, grab your lapel. Yes, even better. See, now you really got good control. All right, so what I'm gonna do is this, okay? So go ahead and go for your arm bar, please. Like fall back for it. All right. See, I've got this hand on my forehead, and I'm gonna raise my elbow and scoot, get this elbow to the mat. And then I'm gonna thread the needle, posture, and pass, okay? So when you're in this arm lock, right? Go ahead and just put me in an arm lock from this formation. Just have a seat, please. Okay, so we're thinking coming from mount, right? Is the perspective. Both legs across the body. Here. You can do this grabbing your lapel. I showed grabbing my biceps, right? Like, here's the thing. If I just had on my rash guard or my t-shirt, I wouldn't want to rely on that. If I had on I'm wearing a jean jacket today because it's cold outside, it's just Thanksgiving, right? If I had that on, I would grab that for a handle. And like, that's just how I think about it, is somebody who's done this for almost 2 decades. All right, so here, put this in, and my palm is cupping over my head. Okay, go ahead. Now what I want to do is raise my elbow, shoulder walk, retract that down. Right, now I'm already thinking about controlling his hips. Here, you see a lot of times people have hands on the biceps. Sometimes you're controlling the upper body. Here, I want to monitor the hips. And I can have my hands at his biceps and kind of be doing an interplay here so I can find posture and pass. Okay, so looping back to some of our previous classes where we saw guard passing. Okay, so that's the sort of basic idea. Now, one other thing. Okay, go ahead and put me in one more arm lock, please, on this side, same thing. Okay, yes, perfect. You're doing it. The mistake, that is, what is it? No. This is fine. Don't worry about this. So what, you know, a best practice from here. Well, okay, I'm just gonna show you. Watch. Why did that happen?
Can't remember the answer to that one.
Oh. So I just came up and stacked. I'll tell you what. Okay. You can't stack me with just coming up if my hand's on the mat. So in philosophy, there's and this, you see this in other branches of the arts and humanities, but you have this term heuristic, okay? And that there's 2 main phrases I use to describe that. Best practices, or like the technical term is a rule of thumb. It's like one of the if you look that definition up, that's gonna be one of the main things. So a rule of thumb for this, a best practice, is to have a hand on the mat. Because if I don't, you saw what happened, right? So go ahead and get your bicep defense, okay? Yes. Now, You notice I don't have my both hands on the mat. Like I noticed immediately, I was, he doesn't have it. This is perfect teaching, right? So, because that's what, if you put it down, I was gonna have to be like, oh yeah, is it better for the class that you put it, that you had both? Now, when you notice that, pendulum into me. Yeah, boom, yeah. Okay, now put your, lift that and then put that knee up there to wedge it. Yes, that one, yeah. Yeah, and just point it inward. Yeah, dude, see how that took my legs off your head? Now, you gotta kind of ratchet this out. I don't have any more ability to squeeze, but yes. Now hips forward and pass. Boom. Nice. I couldn't stiff arm you either, I was trying. That hips forward, because you had your weight, you brought your hips forward. That threw my legs over and then I couldn't get my arm up to stiff arm. Okay, so that's the sort of addendum on this is, hey, you're gonna catch people making mistakes all the time. You think an untrained person is gonna know how to do the arm bar? They'll know what they've seen on the UFC. Like, I mean, I saw a street fight in person one time. Like, it was at somebody's house too. These two dudes started fighting, right? It was not even like, it was just that never happened before. It was just like a weird deal. There was the guys over there, and two of them got into it, you know? And next thing you know, like one of them busted a double A takedown, never wrestled a day in his life. And I'm like, well, what's going on here? Like this dude just did double A takedown. So you gotta think about stuff like that, right? I mean, and here's the thing, a lot of people watch UFC. That is exactly why that occurred, okay? So a lot of people have wrestled in high school. We talk about these things, and then they grew up and they were not a good person, or whatever, right? They trained MMA. Some people just have like a knack to fight. I've met those people, right? And you know, maybe they've been to prison, got in altercations, and sort of furthered that sort of natural instinct and primal instinct to defend themselves. That's a thing too, right? So, and what we're training for, guys, is if we encounter things like that, right? Unarmed combat, we did see a club defense last class, but it's kind of what we're working on this whole course. Okay, so that's it for class 28. Next class we'll see tech mount escapes, and like I said, wrap up our mount escape study and move on to a couple more classes of attacking mount. We got some guard and guard passing. We're finishing our punch defense from guard with our some future classes, but we're getting near to the end of the program. So keep watching the videos. Let us know if you have any questions or need any clarifications.